Welcome back to Tech Yes City. This is Doc Easy coming back to you guys today with a review of the Titanium HD. Now, this is a sound card from Creative, and I got two of them for like $160 on special. So I'm going to be keeping one, maybe. I'm going to let you guys decide whether I should keep it or not, because there's some things that I got to talk about with this sound card. There's some things that I love. There's some things that annoy me. Let's get on to the build quality first of this sound card. And essentially, I really like the build quality of this sound card. It's cased in a nice hard plastic here, attached to metal, and it really does feel like a solid, well-built card. I thought it felt more solid than the Creative Z. Looking at the front of it, it's just all black. Looking at the back of the card, it's got a black PCB which looks sleek as well. And over to the rear of the card, we have a mic in, a headphone out, a line out, and also a line in. So it's got that mic in and that line in, which I really want from a sound card. I currently have it on my onboard audio, and I love it because I use a condenser and I use a boom mic for gaming. Now the headphone out, so the line in, let's talk quickly about the line in. Line in has a phenomenal clear signal going to it. I noticed no noise. The mic in is really strong as well. This is something that the Creative Z didn't do, and something I was not impressed with on the Creative Z, but the Titanium HD has a really good mic in with no noise. I'll quickly do a test for you guys on the boom mic. So I've got my ghetto hyzers on, and I've got them attached with a V-Motor Boom Pro. So those guys who have been following me know that I reviewed the V-Motor Boom Pro, and it was a really good microphone. It basically turns any headphones into a gaming headset. But this is what this microphone sounds like on the Creative Titanium HD's mic in with no noise. So I mean, yeah, I think the mic in does a phenomenal job of just getting a clean signal. So anyway, let's get back to the review. Okay, so what did you think? Did you think it was good? I thought it was pretty impressive. I thought it was a little bit better than the Sonar DGX, which is a $30 sound card, but that's excellent value for money. But I thought, it did a good job. I mean, as expected from one of the best sound cards you can get currently on the PC. So I thought that was good. Let's talk about the line out and the headphone out, because there's something weird going on here anyway. But it basically, if you have the headphone out hooked up, you can't use the line out. So that's kind of like a design flaw. A lot of people are annoyed about it. For me, it's not that big of a deal. You can get by using a stereo splitter. I use the headphone out, just stereo split it to an amp for my headphone and split it to the 2.1 analog sound. Now, essentially, I'm going to make another video as well comparing the audio interface to the Titanium HD to the onboard audio, but essentially the difference between a sound card and the other two is that a sound card, and I forgot to mention this in the Creative Z, is that a sound card will do a phenomenal job of powering analog speakers. So my Creative Z, when I hooked it up to my my Logitech Z4 speakers, 2.1s, wow, did they come alive. This thing really pumped those 2.1 speaker system to life. The bass was just thumping so damn hard. The mids and the highs were just coming out really well. I mean, people will be like, well, it's just a louder signal. Yeah, but it's a loud, clear signal that speaker system needs. The onboard audio just sounded nowhere near as good for the 2.1 speakers. If you've also got a 5.1 speaker setup, then you may wish to go with the Creative Z. Something that I thought sound cards did really well over the other on the onboard audio and the audio interface was that they powered analog speakers really, really damn well. Not to mention the 5.1 upmix and the THX and Dolby Digital settings that these things have. Now, let's talk about headphones though. You want to know how these things sound for headphones, and obviously I'm using headphones a lot of the time, practically all the time when I'm on the computer. So the headphone out of this thing, it had an interesting thing that I did really start to fall in love with, and that was CMSS 3D and then 5.1 upmix. So essentially what this sound card does, and the Creative Z does upmix to 5.1 as well, but this thing has a setting called CMSS 3D, which basically makes your games feel like you're in a room. And I'll put a link in the description below when I'm testing CMSS 3D against stereo sound, but I thought it sounded really good, and I thought it did a good job. I mean, in some games it just really started to immerse me, and it was really good. But that being said, something that I noticed about this sound card was that the sound stage on the headphone out sounded better than the line out. This was with the 5.1 upmix. Now, when I searched on Google to see if anyone else had this problem, there was only one guy who said he noticed a difference, and then everyone said it was in his head, it was placebo. But nah, trust me, when I was switching back between my Objective 2 and the line out, I noticed a difference. The headphone out did a better job of upmixing to 5.1 than the line out did, so I was kind of surprised to find that out. So it was a little bit of a, like, in the end, I'm kind of sitting here going, what's Creative doing? Why are these problems like plaguing this sound card? Don't they fix these things before they ship them out? I don't know. Like, there should have been some extensive, thorough testing done on these sound cards. But anyway, you can work around that by getting a stereo splitter on the headphone out. So that was something that kind of annoyed me about the sound card. But ultimately, I'm left here. And now let's talk about another negative: the headphone out. When I used the headphone out directly to my headphones, which what I was doing initially was doing that, I noticed that the headphones hurt my ears. After like a few hours of listening, my ears became blocked. And maybe an audio engineer wants to chime in, or someone who knows a lot about audio, but when I hooked it up to the Objective 2, even from the headphone out, it wasn't hurting my ears anymore. So there's something weird going on with this headphone out on this particular Titanium HD. But yeah, it hurts my ears, and so I need to use it with an amp. So there's something weird going on there. But ultimately, this sound card, I'm left sitting on the fence. In conclusion, for you guys, I'm sitting on the fence as to whether I should keep this sound card or not. I mean, I love the 5.1 upmix. I also think without CMSS 3D on, it's fun for music as well. When you go into games, you turn CMSS 3D on and it sounds really good. So I'm kind of sitting on the fence here as to whether I should keep this thing. What do you guys think? And I mean, ultimately, I can recommend it if you know the flaws of this thing. And I would recommend, if you have sensitive headphones like I do, then you may wish to get an amp, say a FIO E6 or an Objective 202, to hook it up to the headphone out to spare your ears from getting damaged. So yeah, just something weird going on. But ultimately, I'm left here like, why can't something just work perfectly? Why can't I just use the headphone out directly? The line out works at the same time, so I can hook that up to my analog speakers. And why can't I just do that and, you know, have everything working from the sound card? That's kind of what annoys me about it. Because my onboard audio is good enough as it was. You know, I thought if it wasn't for the bass roll-off, the onboard audio would be perfect. But that's something I don't see being overcome anytime in the near future, because the fact that, you know, motherboard manufacturers have to fit so many things on a motherboard, so they kind of got to cut on costs when they can. And one of those things is the coupling capacitors, and that's why you get the bass roll-off. Something they don't do on the sound cards or any other, I guess, thing where you're spending money on audio. So ultimately, I'm left sitting on the fence of whether I should keep this thing, and I probably won't. I mean, it's just another negative. Also, when I came up with testing, when I was overclocking my GTX 780 to the max, this thing also introduced a little bit of noise as well. So ultimately, yeah, I'm just left here confused, because I love the features of this sound card, and I mean, I love what it can do, but at the end of the day, I'm not really an audio enthusiast, and it's $250 because I got to couple it with a headphone amp, and I'm sitting here going, okay, is that bass roll off and that, you know, 5.1 upmix and that, you know, better signal to my analog 2.1 worth $250? Because if you guys don't know, I can't really listen to music that loud in this house, so that's why I've got headphones. So I got a baby and I've got neighbors close by, so I'm just ultimately yeah, I don't know. You guys decide. I'm on the fence. I'm sad. So let me know what you guys think. Anyway, peace out for now. I'll catch you guys soon with another video, and I hope you enjoyed this review of the Titanium HD, and I'll catch you guys soon with another tech video. Bye.